Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to Friday Evenings with the Maple Mafia. We're here on the Maple Mafia YouTube channel, and when we do that, guys, we like to talk about our eBay. We've got a few things going off, though. We're going to tell you a little bit about Flash Sale Friday. I've got Tim in the studio with me, and I've also got my friend Elmer here, a.k.a. Snow Kitten, a.k.a. Yamayuki, a.k.a. Yukiyama, a.k.a. an amazing tree.
So, y'all, today we've got the Flash Sale Friday going on MrMaple.com. Before we get going on eBay, we've got some large 1-gallon Makawi Etsubusas on sale for $40. We've got Ryusen. These are some really nice lithographs. They're on sale for $35. And Irene on sale for $35 and 1 gallons. Lily pads on sale this weekend only for $45, down from $55, so that's $10 off. Orion down $5 off, down to $35. We got Jerry Schwartz down $10, down to $35, normally $45. We got Aka Shigeratsu Sawa on sale for $35 from $40. We got Aka Amote, that's an Acer Japonicum Aka Amote, normally $40, on sale for $35. We've got Flavescens, normally $40, on sale for $35. And we have Hogyoku seedlings, normally $40, on sale for $30.
Some killer stuff, guys. You want to let them in on a little secret, Tim? You want to tell them what we're doing the rest of the weekend? You'll tell them?
Nah.
Might be some surprises headed your way. Keep those emails opening up.
Yeah, it might be some cool things happening in your email. Check it out this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We got some cool things happening on MrMaple.com or that we've got going on. Y'all, we've been launching a lot of stuff through our eBay. Y'all asked us to, and so we decided to start doing it. And it allows us an opportunity to let go of some stock plants. One of the stock plants we decided to let go of was this big boy right here from Buckholtz Nursery. This is a 6-gallon Snow Kitten. It's the one that's getting all the hype on social media and on eBay right now. These are live. They end Sunday at, it looks like 8:24 p.m. is when this Snow Kitten, also known as Yamayuki, goes off. It's the very first thing going off today, or going off on Sunday. We're going to do this a little bit differently, though, going forward. So while right now, everything's ending on Sunday, we kind of liked how on Thursday, that time we went live, there was stuff going off right after the video. So later on that day. And because of that, we're going to have next week's 10 going off on Thursday, or the 10 going off on Friday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So shortly after we finish this video, things will start going off. That means things are getting listed at 4 p.m. today because things are on eBay for 7 days. So 10 of the items will be starting today at 4 p.m. on eBay for next week's listings, and then the other 10 will be on Sunday during that regular time slot around that 6 to 8 p.m. time frame. This Sunday we had some issues with eBay, and, when you schedule things, first it was all in Eastern Standard Time, and then they switched it once we switched to a seller platform to Pacific Standard Time. And so I had to rearrange things last week, and that's why a lot of our items this week are ending from about 8:24 when this Snow Kitten goes off on Sunday to about 10 o'clock.
So many great things ending, guys. There's a ton of absolute just gems out there today. So reminder that next week, after the video ends here, we will have items going live pretty close to that.
Going off and going live again.
Yeah, so there'll be new items added right after the Friday evening lives, 10 items, and then 10 more items that following Sunday. So there'll be 20 items a week, 10 on Friday evening, 10 on Sunday. We think it'll make it a little bit more fun, too, because we can talk about some of the items in the live for you guys that are ending soon and kind of have it more pertinent to what's actually going on right then. So I think it'll be a lot more fun that way. There's a lot of hype around this week. There's a lot of fun ones. Obviously, Snow Kitten's the big dog getting a lot of attention there. So be prepared because right after we finish doing the live, there will be some items listing on the Maple Mafia eBay. So if you're not familiar with that, we are the Maple Mafia on eBay. That's our old school name we used to use from way back in the day. We brought it back. So that is legit Mr. Maple, same company, same business. You'll be able to go and order through Maple Mafia and know that they're legit products from Mr. Maple.
And that is Maple Mafia on eBay. We do have some Chinese scammers and some foreign scammers that are trying to copy, spoof our MrMaple.com page. And just remember, if things look a little too good to be true and almost everything that we've ever had on MrMaple.com is available, it's probably not us. It's probably fake because it's impossible to have everything available all at once. So keep that in mind. And again, this tree that we're talking about, the Snow Kitten, it's the one sitting right here. This is the big boy right here, this large 6-gallon. This is the exact tree that's in the photos on eBay, the very first tree to go off on Sunday. Snow Kitten is highly anticipated. It's a variegated Macaulay Etsabusa. This is one of the bigger ones you'll see available for sale, possibly ever. And this thing is amazing. Now, we have harvested this tree for scions because when it came from the Buckholz farm, they'd already grafted it for the season. But that also means that, you're going to have an excellent flush of growth in the spring with lots of white variegation. So it's going to really take off in the spring as well. We've got a lot of really cool items hitting that are selling off on Sunday. The next one directly after the Snow Kitten is the Kryptonite. And so, I don't have another large set of Kryptonite coming on this fall that I know of currently.
We are going to be going to Buckholz Nursery pretty soon and looking for some new items. So never say never there. I got a feeling there may be some.
There might be. But we've got coming up here ending at 8:29 and 38 seconds on Sunday. We've got Kryptonite. And so the Kryptonite 1 gallon that's right there in that picture on eBay, that will be going off on Sunday as well. Kryptonite's a variegated sport on Macaulay Etsabusa, and it makes every Japanese maple collector weak in the knees because it has almost like a Manya no Sato style variegation on a Macaulay Etsabusa style.
Guys, next up we've got Cornus Florida Little Poncho, underrated plant. We put these on Mr. Maple. They sell out quick. This is a really cool Kusa that just has a nice round dense habit to it. Makes a nice little ball, prolific flowerer. Just all-around great plant.
Now, right before Little Poncho goes off, there's Blue Moon in a 10-gallon. That'll be going off. Happens at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And this is a 10-gallon of Acer Shirasanum Blue Moon. So, y'all, 10-gallon of Acer Shirasanum Blue Moon. This is one we can actually ship. And will be one of the first times we're shipping a Blue Moon of this size. So that one will be going off on Sunday as well. Now, Blue Moon is another selection by Carl Munn. It was an evaluation seedling that happened possibly around the same time as Moonrise. Now, Blue Moon is like Arium, but it has this bronze orange color in the early spring that gives it something a little bit extra than your typical Arium. I need some protection from the hot afternoon sun in hot climates. But guys, grabbing a large 10-gallon here on the eBay channel.
All right, next up we've got Acer palmatum Alba Joe. This is a rare Japanese maple, kind of in that Makawa family. I like it a lot. It's an old school tree. You don't see it a lot. We did offer this back in the spring. Likely we'll hold over from that set we didn't realize we had. One of the things about eBay is we can find some cool items and put them up on there. Alba Joe, really cool though. If you like those Makawa forms, it's a dense one. With a lot of interest to it.
Josh was asking how old is this Snow Kitten?
10 years.
Yeah, probably 10 years.
I've been seeing these at the Buckholz farm because I used to be a customer before I owned Buckholz Nursery, and I've been trying to twist Talon's arm on this, oh my gosh, at least back 2014, 2015, at least in that time frame when he had decent size 1s and 2 gallons before everybody else. And he was really getting into production back then. I could see it being a little older than that if it was one of the 2 gallons from back then. We kept a specific set of these back, and we've continued to pot them up. They're in 6 gallons right now. We actually have, about 20 of these. We're not going to sell any more. One of the reasons is, even at the price they're getting on eBay right now, they're almost more profitable for us than Signwood because it takes a lot of plants to get a little bit of Signwood on Snow Kitten, a.k.a. Yukiyama.
But these are the same. This is the same snow kitten. If you look at the walkthrough when we took our mom and dad to Buckholz, and you see all the white variegation all across it.
Same plants.
Same plant, and that's because it's been cut back so frequently for signwood.
And that makes them amazingly variegated.
It does.
But it takes one this size, say like this size plant, we might be able to harvest 10 to 15 grafts from this, maybe 20. But you're talking at $100 a 1 gallon. It's hard to give up a stock plant still. They're almost more profitable for the signwood than they are even at $1,000 plus, believe it or not. So kind of a crazy plant. But we like putting fun stuff on here. We like doing some crazy stuff. It's still hard to part with them, believe it or not. People are like, oh, man, you must be so thrilled. I'm like, I'm not sure it's making me more money on eBay, but we'll see. It's crazy how that works. But we keep a lot of these back specifically to produce more numbers for you guys. So we probably won't be bringing a lot more off the set of this size simply because we need them to be able to graft. We want to get the numbers up to 500-600 a year. This year we grafted close to 1,000 this year.
I would say you probably could graft 40 off of one this size, possibly.
Potentially, but not this size. I mean, I can tell you how many come off this one this year. It's not a lot.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's one of those things where it's still kind of hard to give up such a big stock plant, but our eBay channel allows us to be able to do that. Shiranami, we've got those available. We've got one of those available in 1 gallon right now on eBay. Not any big sets that are becoming available this fall that I know from for that as well. Likely going to be a spring thing until I start having some more Shiranami available. So that's dropping on Sunday as well. Vicks Broom. This is a heavily underrated witch's broom. Tight, dense habit. Has a nice purple red border in the early spring. And, that's also going off on Sunday as well. Now, Shinshin Yatsubusa or Shinshin Yatsufusa is a Makawa variant that we got from Don Shadow. He brought that back from Japan.
Pretty crazy plant.
Yeah, and that's one that you don't see available too frequently. It's a Makawa variant that is dropping on Sunday as well. Tightly layering habit. I'd say it's probably most similar to something like Makawa Yatsubusa, but this is a different selection. It goes off, looks at 8:50 p.m. on Sunday.
Do you have yours ended by filtering soonest? Because I have a little bit different order than you. Next up, I've got Acer palmatum Shiranami. A really cool plant. Shiranami meaning light wave, one we talked about on Growing a Greener World. Frequenter of Mr. Maple. But again, one of the things on eBay is you can kind of get to the head of the line, not have to wait for it on a 10 at 10. I can promise you it is one we'll bring back. It's one of my favorites for colors. Been around since the 1700s. Absolutely outstanding plant. Next up, we've got Vicks Broom. That's another really tight broom. It's a witch's broom with a pink-purple border in the early spring. Really a beautiful tree. I almost think it was like a green Shana with a purple border. So you get a really accentuated leaf. It's almost a heavily divided leaf, but then that purple border really shows out.
I'm still trying to figure out how to get the desktop version to get on the same page as you, so I may just go off of yours for a second.
Well, I've got Bronze Age after that one.
Okay, so the Bronze Age coming up. That's actually a larger tree. That, I believe, is a 7-gallon.
Yeah, 7-gallon Bronze Age. That one's going to get some attention. Bronze Age, that's Talon's wife's favorite tree he's ever introduced. Our customers can't get enough of that one either, and our employees here. Great fall color. Golden yellows in the fall. Really a showpiece.
Next up, we've got Makawa KN, and that is known as the Golden Makawa. It's got some good bronze colors to it.
I find it to be a little bit more like bronzing than golden. Really like the color in the early spring, kind of a malt kind of deal. Give it some sunlight. Seems to be its best coloration. So early morning sun, late day shade, you can kind of get some funky colors, then hold those later into the season. Next up, we've got Faust Schwarzenberg.
Yeah, and this is a 1 gallon of Faust Schwarzenberg. We'd sold out around the nursery, and I figured instead, people have been asking for some non-maple items to get listed. And I said, well, heck, why don't we just go ahead and put on one of our Quercus robur first Schwarzenberg on there instead.
You can just bring up the chat there if you want. After that, we've got Acer palmatum Kikenzan.
Now, Kikenzan, that is an Acer tenuifolium selection. It's one of the very few Acer tenuifolium selections that have ever been listed.
Yeah, really cool plant. Kind of like Fujisan. I've heard it means mountain, so it's Kitten Mountain, and really cool. I mean, you don't see a lot of tinidifoliums in the trade at all.
Kikenzan, it's one of those trees that has a really nice clear fall color as well. It's a full moon Japanese maple selection. This is one that, again, you don't see very frequently in the nursery trade. And when I was running around the greenhouses, I spotted this. I said, shoot, we better drop this on one of the on eBay, because this is a special tree. It's one that you're not going to find many times available on Mr. Maple. And we need to get it back in production, to be honest.
So, guys, if you don't know, we've got an upcoming open house. That's October 26th. That's going to be from 8 to 4. We're having a costume contest. I might give you a little tidbit here. I had some employees suggest we give away a Bloody Talons for that costume contest. So we may.
3 gallon?
I don't know. We'll see. Don't go that far yet. You're getting ahead of me now, brother. We'll see. I don't know. I might be Hulk Hogan or Macho Man, so I don't know about that, brother. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Guys,
there's going to be a crazy costume contest here, and I'm thinking Bloody Talons, first prize, Dracula, second place, third place, you get a dead tree for Halloween. It'll be like Addams Family.
Guys, so we're trying to hit up a lot of the Makawa variants here on eBay. We've got Mystic Makawa coming up next on what's dropping. That Mystic Makawa has a decent size to it. It ends at 9:15 p.m. on Sunday. And Mystic Makawa is an orange variation of Makawa, Yatabusa, a little bit slower growing as well. But again, that ends around 9:15 on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. Now, next up, we've got a tree that's the very first time it's ever been released on MrMaple.com or through our sales channels online, and that is Milstone Pinky. Now, Milstone Pinky is a selection from Alabama. Same people who brought us Summer Sunset, but this is a pink spring coloration Japanese maple. It gives you some amazing pink colors in that early springtime.
Hope you guys are liking these Maple Mafia Friday lives. They're kind of fun for us. Gives us a new purpose, too, for our Maple Mafia channel. I mean, we really weren't planning on kind of pairing our Maple Mafia channel with our eBay, but it's kind of fun. They go by the same name. And it makes a lot of sense because I don't want to overpopulate our other channel with lives, but it gives us kind of a fun reason to get on here and talk about some of the items on our eBay store and just give you guys updates.
It also just allows us to sell off some of our stock plants we weren't planning on selling.
Right. It wasn't a plan to do this. A lot of people asked for it, and I kind of reluctantly agreed to do it. And I'm kind of glad we did. I mean, we've had a lot of hurricane issues, and we're still rebuilding. We got new poly in today, thank God. I've got some people that really pushed the envelope and got us our poly, so we're going to be able to get that on before it gets cold here. And so there's a lot of great things happening, but we still have some recovery and cleanup. So I'm really glad we started doing this right before things got crazy. Our product's in perfect shape, so we've got awesome plants to sell you still. And I'm really excited that we have a second source of income kind of coming in. We're not doing a GoFundMe. We're selling you plants. So don't forget, that's a great way to support us here at Mr. Maple. You're not just donating money, you're actually getting a plant out of it. And in this case, somebody's going to get a Talon Buckholz grown snow kitten that is pretty choice, pretty nice.
So guys, next up, again, people have been asking for some non-maples on the eBay channel. So I went and found one of the Ginkgo biloba Sunstreams that really had some amazing variegation to drop on here. And, Sunstream is one of the more stable variegated styles of that unique sectioned off variegation style. It is still of that style. They're a little more unstable, and you do have to prune out any non-variegated branches. But again, this one particular selection is one that we selected that was just loaded with variegation. And so this Sunstream that's listed, you can go through and look at the photos, is pretty choice.
Guys, next up, we've got a Dick Vandermatt introduction. Go watch our podcast on the late, great Dick Vandermatt. That guy's come up with a lot of home runs. He had a great tree that we've offered before, but it might be a little while before we offer it again, so it's a chance to get one first. Acer palmatum Dora.
Yeah, Dora is more of an orange spring interest. It's like an orange pinky kind of color, and it just has some really nice spring oranges in the early spring. He has a number of those just flowering interest Japanese maples.
Yes. I would say if he had a calling card for his introductions, it is those spring interest flower types. It's like the the Milas. I mean, things that kind of remind you a little bit of DeSojo, Isabel, Dora, some of those trees that just put on that fiery display. Phoenix, Hinotori Nishiki. I mean, he had some absolute hitters for the early springtime splash. I think if I had to categorize my favorite Dick Vandermeer introductions, they're that foliage as the flower spring display.
Now, one thing it's better this week than it was the very first time we did one of these lives is I think every single item actually has a bid already.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that. That's always a good start.
The next item is Acer Robustum, which only has one bid currently. But
y'all got to get up on that one. Y'all got to find out about some Robustum. We have offered it here at Mr. Maple this year. Probably at least another year or two before we get it back in stock. Robustum, that thing is choice, guys. It's got a little bit of superpowers to it. It's cold hardy. It's durable. It's sun tolerant. I could see both cold tolerant and sun tolerant selections being made in the future from this species.
And it's fairly frost resistant.
Fairly frost resistant. I've seen it go through some heavy WNC frost and full foliage, and not really get any damage, which is pretty super powered out for me.
And I've been told by many people, they said, guys, this species I've got, Acer Robustum, is cultivar worthy. I'm like, what do you mean by cultivar worthy? They're like, well, the fall color is
so yellow.
It's just got some really nice shades of yellow to orange on it. And it's just next level on that orange color that you really want. You really should introduce this. Just
like we love Acer Oliviernum, and we've done a lot of selecting there, we're always working on variations for Robustum. So if you want to play along, grab you some Robustum. I think that's going to be another one of those future plants. You can add some superpowers to Japanese maples with Acer Robustum. All right, guys, coming up next, we got a fan favorite, number one on the list of Talon Buchholz introductions by Matt and Tim, Acer Palmatum Japanese Princess.
Yeah, I mean, that is a small dwarf pink. Basically, we took one of our trees we dropped from the listing we had and dropped one on eBay, just giving people another chance because, you can't always get it when we drop it on the 10 at 10, and this just allows you to have another chance at getting one of those Japanese princesses.
Guys, coming up next, we got Cotton Candy. That is a fan favorite for sure. Another one by Del Laux Nursery. Same people that brought you Lillian's Jewel. Cotton Candy really brings it with the pink and white. It can get so much pink in it, though. It kind of has this creamy look to it. It's where literally the Cotton Candy comes about. One of my favorite Orino Nishiki styles.
Yeah, it really has some of the most pink colors you can get on any of those Orino Nishiki styles. And it's just very solid in a lot of the way the variegation happens. So you'll end up getting just these really large clumps of pink on there, which look like cotton candy. Possibly one of his better introductions from Del Laux Nursery. And that's saying a lot because he's introduced a lot of amazing plants from Benny Hoshi. They introduced from there Lillian's Jewel. They introduced tons of plants. Akakawa Hime, Emerald Ace. I could go down a large list of all of his introductions. But Cotton Candy is very dramatic and will grab your attention.
And then, guys, we've got a 1 gallon Acer Palmatum Mayday. I've been reluctant to stick Mayday on eBay, but I've seen some people just selling pretty crap Maydays, like liners with bad grafts, and they're going for stupid prices, y'all. We're not trying to gouge anybody, but we like giving people a second chance on these. We're going to keep hitting Mayday up on to 10 at 10s, but here's a chance to get one without the line. I think you're going to see Mayday be a popular item for years to come. Our goal is always to flood the market with the things we love the best, so we just keep producing Mayday at big numbers too.
And this Mayday in particular ends at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. So, if you're after that Mayday, make sure you're paying attention around then. And I believe that will actually wrap up our eBay items from this week.
Guys, starting in about an hour, you're going to see new items listing on the Maple Mafia eBay.
About 36 minutes.
Yeah, so be ready. There'll be some new items popping up. We'll discuss those next week right before they disappear. So you'll be able to watch our live stream and then go and bid on items directly if you're interested. So maybe we'll keep bringing some more items in the studio. This one's kind of the star of the week right now. Kind of our co-star here, the big Yukiyama. We have actually has a Buchholz label on it. Buchholz has it listed as Yukiyama. We've always called it Snow Kitten. There's always drama about that. NJ Acer always tells us it has to be Snow Kitten. And for whatever reason, I've always stuck with that. That's how I first received it. Some people have changed it to Yukiyama. Some people listed it as Yuki. I've seen a million different names. The first time I ever saw the tree, I always let people know this. The very first time I ever saw it was listed as Makawa Nishiki. And Tim let Fred Hooks know there was already a Makawa Nishiki. And then by the second time I saw the tree, it was listed as Elmer. So it's went by a lot of aliases. I think I think Fred Hooks did have the right to name it, and his original plan was to name it Snow Kitten. So we kind of honor Ed and Fred Hooks by sticking with that. But whatever name you like on this, there ain't many plants like it. It is a crazy variegated monster here. And, you're getting a 10-year size. So
now, just going through the listings right now, looking at the bids, I think the Acer robustum, definitely really choice plant that's getting underlooked at right now. The Blue Moon, the 10-gallon, that's a good size 10-gallon, and that's a pretty rare plant as well. And I think while that thing has a few bids on it right now, I think that tree in particular should possibly go a lot more than that. Because, it's a 10-gallon of Blue Moon.
So I appreciate you supporting us, guys. I appreciate you hopping in here. Again, October 26th from 8 to 4, we're going to be having an open house. We would love to see you here at that. Costume contest winner may get a Bloody Talons. We'll discover what sizes we can give away. We're going to go scout out at Buckholtz for some new items too. But come see us that day. You're not going to be disappointed. Truck just arrived this week from Buckholtz with 1 million treasures in it as well. So there's going to be new items you haven't even seen if you've been at all of our other open houses. There's a lot of new things here at Mr. Maple.
Maybe some Acer truncatums and some 10 gallons.
You want to tell
or
them about
7
that?
gallons.
Oof. Don't give away too much now.
Guys, big stuff happening this weekend. Check your email out on Saturday and Sunday. Right now, we have Flash Sale Friday going on. You'll want to take advantage of those savings. Definitely some cool plants, $5 to $10 off this weekend only. Flash Sale Friday. Make sure you take advantage of those savings.
Yeah, we appreciate your support too as we continue to regrow here and get everything back to normal. So like I said, our poly come in today, so that was awesome. I don't think Snow Kitten's going to pay for all the poly, but I appreciate back to where we were pre-storm. But I appreciate everybody's contributions. And like I said, we don't have a GoFundMe, so this stuff helps us rebuild, repot, get things going. So I really appreciate your support. It really helps us. Tim and I, we can't really, I don't know, I just don't feel right doing a GoFundMe, but I feel good about giving you a good product.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we try to look at and try to do and try to get creative with, sales or different ways we can list things. When you look at, everything that happened, there's a lot of craziness that happened in Western North Carolina.
A lot of our employees have been out of work for at least a week and a half. Things are starting to get more normal.
And a big part of the Southeast did not have internet. You probably found it easier to get things on some of our 10 at 10s.
About half of our customer base hasn't been able to even get online.
Yeah, so there was a lot of people who couldn't shop with us for a few weeks. And so this allows us to be able to help try to recuperate some of those lost possible in sales and hopefully get some of those people a distraction again from, all the craziness that's been going on with this hurricane.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. You guys have kept the sales coming in. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. We had a lot of people reach out to me during the storm and say, hey, are you okay? Wanted to contribute to you guys, so I put in an order. So, man, that means the world to us, guys. I really appreciate that. And we're doing better. Things are getting here better every day. We're going to be ready for open house October 26th. I think you guys will be surprised to see the place, and hopefully we can exceed all your expectations on how crazy it is.
Someone asked, how does Dora compare to Milstone Pinky? Dora is going to be more on that orange side. Milstone Pinky is going to be more on that pink side. That's really the main differences between the two, Stephen.
Even though it's more of it's almost a pink orange. It's a crazy color. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So a lot going on there. Really fun spring display ones. We try to find some outside the box stuff for you guys here, and we're still doing the items on the limited release. So that's never ended. Just trying to find ways to make Maples exciting for you guys. Tim and I are crazy and always fired up. I was taking around a high school horticulture department lead today, and his friends, he said, do you ever get tired of this? And I was like, no. We're trying to find new people to talk to every day about this. So I appreciate you guys being part of our crazy hopping on here. We appreciate your support as well.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.